Recruiting after the offer. This is part of a series covering the hiring process and recruiting. This last video is going to cover what to do after you have an offer in the recruiting process. This is Matt Haber with Foundation Recruiting and Consulting. So, you made an offer, and hopefully the candidate has verbally accepted it. So, you've made your offer. You want to make a verbal offer. That would be either the third-party recruiter, possibly the internal recruiter, or the hiring manager, and you also have a written offer. Some companies do this in different orders or some different combinations, but you want to get some sort of verbal acceptance that the candidate is interested and seems likely to accept the offer. You're going to send over your written offer. So even if you have indication the candidate's going to accept and you send over your written offer, you want to follow up and make sure you get a signed copy of their offer letter back promptly. This is for a variety of reasons. Candidates can get multiple offers, they can get a counter offer, they can change their mind. So you want to make sure that that piece is complete. Then you want to complete any additional initial onboarding pieces. So that would be if for some reason there's reference checks that are not completed, or if you waited till after the accepted offer to run the reference checks, make sure you get those completed. Any background check pieces, again, we covered this already. Make sure that they're only background check pieces that are in line with your particular position, but make sure you get any background checks complete. And so then the candidate is completely clear to start. Initiate any onboarding processes as far as paperwork or administrative processes, getting them set up for, set up time for getting equipment delivered or getting equipment set up. If you have an on-site office, getting the equipment set up or their office space set up for them. You want to stay in regular contact with the candidate. Excuse me. And so just because somebody, even if they've already accepted and they've accepted in writing, you still want to stay in touch with them through the onboarding process and make sure they feel comfortable and both parties are in like close contact. You don't have to keep following up with them, but just generally when there's different steps that happen, follow back up with the candidate, stay in contact with them, make sure that they're feeling good. When it's getting closer, so time from acceptance to start date can vary. It can be 1 week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. Sometimes it's super fast within a day or two. But if it's farther out, reconfirm a start date with the candidate. Make sure they know what day they're going to be coming, what time, the location. If there's any logistics they need to be aware of, like parking requirements or anything like that, if they need to be badged in, anything along those lines, make sure they're aware of all those pieces up front. Schedule, if they're going to have any sort of like formal training or orientation, make sure that gets scheduled. If there's going to be obviously some sort of training, I would assume, in almost all positions. So if there's informal training, like make sure the team members are aware that something new is starting and that they take some time to get this person up to speed. You want to have, it's good to have the hiring manager reach out a few days, like 3 to 5 days before the start date. Check in and make sure that if there's any last questions the candidate has, those get answered. Set expectations for that first day and first week. Cover any logistics. The recruiting team can do this too, but it is nice to have the actual hiring manager do at least one reach out via email or call, whatever the case may be. So those are all the pieces you want to get completed before the start. Hopefully your candidate accepted their offer. You got all their background check done. You got all their onboarding done. They started successfully. There's still some things to keep in mind after the placement. So this is either internally or if you're a third-party recruiter, some of these pieces you want to manage as well. So you want to stay in very close communication with new hires for their first 30, 60, 90 days, even up into 6 months into a year. Checking in with them, making sure that whoever's managing them is keeping a close eye on them, and doing regular check-ins to make sure that they understand what's expected of them, what their responsibilities are, how they're feeling about the opportunity, how they're settling in, if there's questions, all these kind of pieces. You want to make sure that you're giving that person the best chance to succeed in the role. And make sure they have clear communications of what's expected of them, their responsibilities, if there's performance expectations, what those are, and how they're expected to meet those goals. Check in with them on how happy they are, if there's team dynamics, company culture. Ensure that they're being so it's also good to have maybe somebody else check in HR or in the recruiting team and make sure that they feel like they're getting supported from their manager, and all those other pieces, right? That they know what they're doing, all these kind of pieces. If there is any sort of performance issues, you want to address this as early as possible. Hopefully it's just a misalignment and it can be sorted out by re-explaining the situation or setting expectations. Um, or if there's a major problem, you want to discover it early on. So if you are working a third-party recruiter, there should be a guarantee period. If there is a major issue with performance, you could still be within your guarantee period, or you just want to address if there's going to be a major mismatch with the organization early on and try to correct that, or if not, perform that person out. So, and then identify and guide them towards internal growth opportunities and career development if that's if there's a chance for that. And that's not right away, right? But you want to stay in touch with these people, and within your organization, you want to grow people within the organization. So you want to, especially top performers, but in general, you want to keep people growing within an organization and making them aware of opportunities where they can grow their skill set and stay with the company. Um, if somebody's leaving, you want to conduct a thorough exit interview, identify improvement opportunities with company culture, management practices, work environment. Sometimes people leave and they're upset, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, but you can get useful feedback from exit interviews. And then you want to monitor key hiring metrics, so things like time to hire, candidate experience, um, offer acceptance rates, new hire quality, retention rates, time, and you want to cover all these pieces and then use that to iterate in your hiring process and in your corporate culture to be able to attract the best candidates and get accepted offers from them, get them to join your organization, stay with the organization as long as possible. So that covers the recruiting and hiring process. If you have additional questions, you can locate my information, find me on LinkedIn, reach out to me, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you. This is Matt Haver with Foundation Recruiting Consulting.